What's up, it's Phil Exposed. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the #1 tip I ever got recommended for arm training. And this tip could actually apply to any muscle group in the human body, but for the sake of this video, we're going to apply it to the arms. So if you watch my torso dominant video, you remember that I was talking about a lot of torso dominant lifters have very bad mind muscle connections with their arms. What do I mean by this? Well, people say that the weighted chin up is the best bicep lift of all time. People say that the weighted dip and close grip benching are the best tricep lifts of all time. But a lot of torso dominant lifters only feel weighted chin ups in their lats, and they only feel close grip benching or weighted dips in their delts and a bit in their pecs. So the best advice that I ever got recommended was to basically do some activation drills for the biceps and the triceps before you train them. The reason why you want to do some activation drills for your biceps and triceps prior to doing the heavy lifts is basically because you're going to be able to feel them on every single rep of the heavy lifts. So for example, if you start with some cable push downs, with some cable curls, just for 5 to 10 minutes, just to get a massive pump in the upper arms, you're going to notice that when you move on to the weighted dips, or the close grip bench, weighted chin up, or the barbell curls, or the meat and potato exercises for the arms, you're going to feel them a lot more because one, they're pumped, they're activated, and there's so many benefits. And this could apply to other muscle groups. And I actually got this from a lot of powerlifters who sit down all day and they can't really feel their glutes working when they do deadlifts and squats. So they basically do glute activation drills and ta-da, they feel their glutes working on the squats, they feel it working on the deadlifts, and it helps them a lot. And the same thing could be applied with activation drills for the upper arms. There's no downsides to doing this because you pre-exhaust them a bit, you're building up the work capacity, so you're just doing more volume, you're getting extra frequency if you do this a few times a week, and it's all benefits. Yeah, so in today's episode, I'm going to show you guys some pump work or some activation drills that you could do for your upper arms that you could do prior to your heavy work. So if you do this before your heavy work, you're going to notice that on your heavier work, you're going to feel it 10 times more, and you're just going to love the results. Okay, so here we are at the cable station. We're going to be doing some bicep and tricep superset circuits before we move on to the heavy work. And when you do this, you're going to feel it 10 times more. And I'm usually not the biggest advocate of tempo training, but for the case of this, we're just trying to use a controlled tempo, get a great pump. We're going to do it non-stop for around 5 minutes. And yeah, so grab it. So you do that for maybe like a minute just to get like a massive pump. Right away, bring it down. Do the same thing with curls. You would do that for another minute. So maybe you could do 2 rounds of those. After that, your lateral medial head, along with your biceps and a bit of your forearms, should be a lot more pumped. After that, if you want to do more activation drills for the long head, which is what I would recommend, you could just put it up a little bit. I personally feel the best contractions when I set it to the 3rd pin, when I do my overhead extensions with the cable, but that's just me. So turn it around. You can already feel a great stretch, elbows pointing at the ceiling. You do that for another minute, that's gonna really get your long head pumped. Okay, so let's say you just did the activation drills, you did 2 minutes on each. So 2 minutes total of long head work, 2 minutes total of the bicep and tricep superset for the lateral medial head. Once you do that and once you get like a really nice pump in your upper arms, let's say this is your heavy work. Let's say you're to do like a heavy curl or like a heavy overhead standing extension. Now, what ends up happening is you feel it, you're gonna feel it a lot more in the desired muscle group. So just from those little pump sets alone, I already feel my bicep working a lot more. And now for the long head of the triceps. I can already feel a massive difference in the activation just off a few sets of activation drills. Okay, so there you guys have it. That's hands down the #1 tip for upper arms that I ever got in my entire life. It's doing activation drills, because now you're actually gonna feel your arms working when you do the exercises, as opposed to feeling all the weight in your delts, your back, pecs, just the muscles in your torso. So you do these drills, it's gonna help you out a lot. And another tip you could do is to do more warm-up sets on your heavy exercises. So let's say you're doing close grip bench, instead of doing a plate, then 2 plates, you could try doing half a plate and a half, and then 2 plates, just to accumulate some extra work and really work on that mind-muscle connection. But that's pretty much the whole objective of all this, is that you're really trying to improve your mind-muscle connection, and when you do these activation drills at the beginning, it's gonna improve that. And I'm not saying you have to do these activation drills forever. What I am saying is that for now, if you have very lagging arms like myself and you have trouble feeling them on certain exercises, there's nothing to lose by throwing them in. It's 5 minutes taken out of your life, 10 minutes max. So let me know in the comment section below what you think about this tip. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.